leaving the beautiful city of Prague, we are now driving towards the small town of Český Sternberg, which is located in the central Bohemian region of Czech Republic and which is around 50 kilometers from Prague. So we got to experience some old world European countryside charm and with amazing food as well. The hotel has this beautiful castle in the backdrop which made the stay even more pleasant. Good morning and join us as we drive towards our next destination, Bratislava, which is the capital city of Slovakia. Bratislava is around 280 kilometers from Český Sternberg, where we stayed overnight. As we are driving along the highway, let me also share some interesting facts about Slovakia. Slovakia is sandwiched between Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary and Ukraine. Slovakia was part of Czechoslovakia until the Velvet Divorce that happened in 1993. Another interesting fact. So Slovakia is among the countries with large-scale poppy production. Poppy is a traditional crop in Slovakia and farmers have cultivated this plant mostly for seeds production for culinary purposes. Another interesting fact about Slovakia. So Slovakia has the world's highest number of castles per capita and the number is 300. It has around 8 UNESCO heritage sites and it has more than 1600 officially registered springs. A brief introduction to Bratislava. The Danube, Europe's second longest river, winds its way through Bratislava. Churches, town walls and palaces pay tribute to the centuries of history. Thematic and humorous bronze statues and a laser light show on summer evenings are more modern additions. When you are tired and ready to relax, you can just move to Danube River and just watch the great river flow. As we start our walking tour of Old City of Bratislava, we come across this flag which is a witch burning memorial of Agatha Tooth, who was burned to death in Bratislava in 1602. Although the infamous Middle Ages practice of witch hunting was not as widespread in Slovakia as it was in other European countries such as Spain, Germany, France and England, but there is evidence of witch trials around 16th and 17th century and over 30 people were sentenced to death by fire on witchcraft in Slovakia. We enter the Bratislava Old City through this gate, also known as the Michael's Gate, and it is the only city gate that has been preserved of the medieval fortifications and ranks among the oldest town buildings. This Baroque-style tower was constructed in 1300. Bratislava is the only capital in the world that borders two countries. So Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, sits on the borders with Austria and Hungary, and you can reach both cities incredibly quickly. A trip to Austrian capital Vienna is only 60 kilometers away. This is one of the best known squares in Old Town of Bratislava and is often considered to be the center of the city. Some of the main landmarks found in the square are Old Town Hall and Maximilian Fountain. Bratislava is chock full of quirky statues many of which don't depict the usual historical or famous figures. One interesting story about this sculpture, which is of Napoleon's army soldier. Napoleon and his army came to Bratislava in December 1805 when 9,000 infantry soldiers and 300 horsemen marched through the streets. While passing through the town, one of the soldiers, who was originally from Champagne area of France, is said to have fallen in love with a local girl, and he decided to stay in Bratislava and began making sparkling wine, which he named after himself as Hubert. This is oldest city hall in the country, and it is one of the oldest stone buildings still standing in Bratislava. Large number of items were donated by local citizens, which contributed towards the museum, and one of Maria Theresa's daughters also lived here. So it's a tradition here at Maximilian's fountain to get drunk and jump into the fountain water. This is another Quirky statue in the old city main square, and it is of a renowned Bratislava character from 20th century, Skonar Nasi, who was son of a shoemaker and a grandson of a famous clown, and he would go around in the streets with the top hat and tails greeting women with words like "I kiss your hand" in German, Hungarian and Slovak. Cumil is one of the most popular bronze statues in the old city of Bratislava, and it is a statue of a sewer worker resting at the top of a manhole peeping at the passerby. The bronze statue, with a grin on his face, peeks his head from underneath a manhole cover in the old town. There are a couple of theories about his name. Maybe he's trying to get a look under the lady's skirt, or perhaps he's a typical communist era worker who works little and watches a lot. Or maybe he's resting after a hard day's work cleaning the sewer. Either way, this sympathetic man enjoys his surroundings, and legend has it that those who touch the head of the man will get their wish come true. This is the most popular statue in this square, and is of Pavlov, who was a Slovak poet, dramatist and Hungarian patriot. He was from a noble family and served in Czechoslovak parliament from 1918 to 1920. The Salvatore Pharmacy is one of the most photographed in the historic center of Bratislava, and this full-service pharmacy is from 1904, and it serves as a living museum with the staff dispensing medicines while also presenting the story. This memorial is dedicated to a synagogue that was destroyed after having survived the World War II. The Neolog Synagogue stood on this site till 1969, and it survived the World War II only to be demolished to make way for the construction of the S&P Bridge. And it is dedicated to the 105,000 Slovakian Holocaust victims. St. Martin Church, constructed in 1452, is one of the largest and the oldest churches in Bratislava, known specially for being the coronation church of the Kingdom of Hungary between 1563 and 1830. The medieval city walls are remnants of fortifications from 13th century with thickness of walls reaching up to 160 centimeters. These ancient fortifications, which once served as the guardians of the city, now stand as a captivating reminder of a bygone era. As you stroll along the walls, you will be enveloped in the atmosphere of medieval times with panoramic views of the charming old town of Bratislava. As we cross the bridge to the other side, we land on this place also known as Castle Hill, and top of this Castle Hill is the Bratislava Castle. The Castle Hill was populated as early as late Stone Age, and its first known inhabitants were the Celts, who founded a fortified settlement here called Oppidum. So Bratislava city's history has been influenced by people of many nations and religions, including Austrians, Bulgarians, Croats, Czechs, Germans, Hungarians, Jews, and Slovaks. The Baroque gardens are on the grounds of Bratislava Castle and was originally built according to the design of architect of Empress Maria Theresa. Stroll along the silver linden trees and statues and take a photo of the central fountain. Bratislava received its contemporary name in 1919. Until then, it was mostly known as Pressburg, which was derived from its German name, since after 1526 it was dominated mostly by Habsburg monarchy and the city had a relevant ethnic German population. Bratislava Castle sits majestically atop a hill overlooking its namesake city and the Danube River. Originally constructed in the 9th century, it was destroyed by fire in 1811 and rebuilt in 1950s and 60s. Remnants of the initial castle are still visible along the Upper East Terrace. The grounds are home to statues and striking entrance gates, as well as to cafes, bars and eateries along the castle perimeter. This is the Slovak Republic National Council building, and with this we come to an end of our Bratislava walking tour. We learned a lot more about medieval times and the associated stories, and thanks to our walking tour guide for sharing these great stories with us.
Hi, my name is Michael and I do city tours of Bratislava. So if you come to Bratislava, you can check out on the Guru Walk and you can buy my tour. And I'm excited to see you.